Hallo, assalamu alaikum, good morning, khush amdeed, ji ayanu, goeiemorgen.
Bakhair Agile, Ni Hao, Tune Shumme, Washmale, Ohio Gonzaimes, Guten Morgen, Hola, Bonjour, Privyet, Kaifa Hal, Hale Shuma Chatore, Ahlan Wasalan Marhaba, Buna, Mucho, Gracia, Swabia, Bhalli Kare, and ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning into PTV World. You watching World this morning on a very fine Friday morning over here in Islamabad, alongside the very fantastic Shiza Hashmi and Shahzad Khan. Hello Shiza, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you so much for asking. What about you?
Well,
and before you answer that,
okay.
I actually want to say thanks to. So, yesterday, when you spoke about, we always talk about how there's a lot of traffic through the route that we come to
Yeah.
at work. And you sort of motivated me to, leave early and then reach early.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to sort of fix your routine according to whatever is going wrong.
Yeah.
The world is not going to adjust according to you. So,
Exactly.
might as well stop complaining, crying, and, get on track. You did that to me yesterday, so thank you.
But I think you took it very seriously as well.
I
because ladies
did,
and
because it was so annoying.
because ladies and gentlemen, every now and then, I was the first one to always make it to the office in the first place. Even during the COVID times as well.
Yeah.
And then, all of a sudden there was this challenge kind of thing that who actually is going to make it to work first, because everybody needs a little bit of makeup. So,
Right.
whoever makes it first to the makeup room is the one person who's actually going to get it done first.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's always, so even today when I came outside and I couldn't see your car, I was like, okay, I think she's not here. So let me just quickly go and get my makeup done. But fortunately, I think our makeup artists do a wonderful job as well. But yeah, it's great, to be on time, have your own cup of tea, read a little before the
Exactly.
show, prepare with the guests. I think it's wonderful. It gives you that energy. It gives
It's like
you
we always
that
do
essence.
that, but it's just that we've started doing it even earlier than that. So, it's brilliant.
It's
Other
brilliant,
than
but yeah, getting up early in the morning and where you see that everybody else is sleeping is something which is not a good moment for me, because
Really?
every now and then, when I wake up and I'm like, okay, you know what, today probably is not the day when I should have actually woken up so early, and then I look around and I'm like, okay, everybody's sleeping. I'm like, why do I have to wake up and just go? So then I think,
Right.
okay, because I'll be the first one to sleep as well.
Exactly.
So I'm like, okay, plus.
Right, but it's beautiful how the biological sleep cycle works as well.
Yeah.
Because now, of course, we've been sticking to this routine for more than 2 years in my case, and more than 6 years in your
Yeah.
case. So even without an alarm, I'm up, which is a bad thing on weekends. But other than that, I think my sleep cycle is doing perfectly fine.
I think it's great on weekends as well, because
Really?
with me it's a very different case scenario, and that is that whenever I go to bed, whatever time it may probably be, even if it's 3 in the morning, exactly at 9 a.m. in the morning I'll be up. So it's a 6-hour sleep cycle. I
Okay.
cannot sleep beyond that. May it be a weekend, may it not be a weekend.
Same.
That's what the case is. And on weekends, when you wake up after 6 hours, you're fresh, but then you're like, okay, what do I do now? And then I'm like, okay, we'll think of something, but for now, just lie down, man. That's it.
Right. So I thought maybe this is like a married girl thing, but I'm so happy to know this is normal. It happens to everyone, and
Yeah.
6 hours sleep is perfect. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Jummah Mubarak to everyone watching not only in Pakistan but in more than 40 countries around the world. Remember Shahzad Khan, myself, Shiza Hashin, my entire team in your prayers. So Shahzad, what's on your mind before we begin the show?
All right, so yeah, today I think I have a message for everybody who's out there, and I think it's for everybody, and I think it's for every age. I think it's for every class. There's no discrimination amongst it as well, because whenever we talk about society, Shiza, I think that when we talk about healthy society, people do not think about the color, the creed, or you probably the gender, so the healthiest societies do not talk about such attributes, because of the fact that they think about ideas, they think about getting together, they think about helping each other, they think about providing somebody with an enabling environment.
Absolutely.
And to become a healthier society, what is that one thing which is required? I have taken out one thing, since
Okay.
we're talking about this as well today, ladies and gentlemen. So I would want to share my idea of how a society is going to become a better society, is going to be on your television screens very quickly. Let's see what it is today. All right.
Is it in a picture?
Yeah, it's a picture, and the picture will illustrate. So the first picture on my left-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, is as you see, they term it equality. Now, on the right-hand side, when we see, we call it equity. Now, when we talk about equality, equality is equal opportunity to everybody, which is given, you can see in the left-hand side picture as well. But that equal opportunity cannot actually be contemplated upon by that smaller boy. And it's because of the fact that the boy is just small, there's nothing he or she can do. But in the right picture, if you see that, the box is taken from that uncle and given it to the boy, And that's what you call equity, because you really need to provide them with opportunities which are useful for them. And to make a healthier society, ladies and gentlemen, obviously, you know, we wanted to talk about equality, but I think over here in Pakistan, we really need to shoot for the moon and then wait to land on the stars as well. So we need to talk about equity, giving people what is useful for them rather than, you know, just focusing on equality. Hey, you know what? You need a cup of tea, you need a cup of tea, you need a cup of tea. Somebody might need coffee, you know, to wake up. You know, it's different with everybody. So giving them whatever is required for them is something which we call equity as well. And I think to be a healthier and to be a smarter society, we need to believe in equity.
I really like your idea of, understanding of how a society can actually be healthy. And I think that makes sense as well. But for me, if you were to ask me to, pinpoint one thing that could actually make a society better, I don't know if there's a term for it, probably I'm missing it as well. But I wish I lived in a society where, well, people wouldn't make vague judgments on someone, and they actually would give equal opportunity to choose. Now, I'm using the word equal again, opportunity to choose as well, because everyone has the basic right to determine things for their own life, right? So you can't really control, or you can't pass judgments for someone. You can't actually tell them what to do. Accept people as they are, and then move forward together. Well, I hope that makes sense. So, without further ado, let's be digging deeper into this conversation of how to actually attain that healthy society. Are we even on the right track, since we are always thinking about well-being, a welfare state?
And there's one more thing which I would love to emphasize on today as well, and this is something which actually came across my mind just yesterday when our amazing producer, Mr. Jamshed Saab and Hasnan, actually shared the topic with us. And I was with somebody, and that somebody was calling someone, and that someone was supposed to do a job for that somebody. All right, I know that it might be confusing, but person A was calling person B, and person A was expecting from person B that the person B is actually going to do whatever work he or she is required to do.
Got it.
But the person B refused. And the person B has been doing all of those jobs, but have been taking their fee or service charges as well. But this time around, the person A was like, you know what, I've given you enough of the fee, so whatever it is, but now I think it's the time that you pay me back. And that was the time when they broke up. And they were like, and then person A was like, okay, wherever he's working, I'm going to make sure that he's not going to work there any longer. And I was like, there's so many stresses anyways. Why would you stress about where the other person is working, or what he or she is doing, or what you want to do with their life? So ladies and gentlemen, focusing on yourself and making sure that you don't look anywhere else. Have you seen a horse with those blind spots over here, left and right? I think everybody needs to be like that as well over here in a healthier society, if we want a healthier society.
And Shazad, you keep saying one thing which actually sticks with me. Your boundary or your limit ends where your nose ends. And I think that's what actually makes sense as well, and everyone should keep that in mind. But ladies and gentlemen, I know we're taking a lot of time. Let's just quickly introduce our very apt guest over here, who is definitely going to talk about what qualities our society has right now, how we can probably improve it to become a healthier society.
Or are we a healthier society? Is there any healthier society out there which we can refer to? Or if there is, how can we adopt the attributes of that healthier society, or a good society, or a better community, ladies and gentlemen? To talk about this, we're very lucky that we've actually been joined by somebody who happens to be an author himself. Not just that, he's a motivational speaker, and he's a motivational speaker of such sort that he actually goes to the police department as well and tells them that, okay, this is something you guys really need to do. He is the one and only Mr. Asif Nazir. Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning.
Wa alaikum assalam and good morning.
Thank you very much for joining us. Wonderful to have you.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Yes.
And the foremost important question, do you think that you are a member of a healthier and a good society?
And my answer is no.
Okay. Why?
Because healthy society, when we talk about the attributes of the healthy society does not mean that there is a less mortality rate or there are less injuries. Healthy society means that the people are tolerant. A tolerant society, in one word, is a healthy society. And where the people, because the human beings, we have got the different traits, different characteristics, and we have a very sharp edges. We have got very sharp edges. So in a healthy society, the people, they can resolve and manage their conflicts in a very nice, peaceful and reasonable way. So when we people are sitting as a society, we have got different traits, we have got different abilities, we have got different, everybody has got different, way of thinking. We have got so erratic behaviors. Human beings, very difficult to predict their behaviors. So when we have got so extreme behaviors in a society, people from different walks of life, from different areas, so when they are together in a society, they have got so much of sharp edges. When they are able to manage their conflicts, differences in a very nice and reasonable way, that is a healthy society. And if you just look around,
Right.
unfortunately, we are not living in a healthy society.
You're right. But here's the thing. I agree with everything that you said. But why is it so? I mean, when we talk about a society where people do not give enough importance or enough room for someone else's opinion to come forward and, come into practice, why is that so? Why are people so intolerant of someone else, proceeding further with their ideas?
Actually, it is the lack of awareness, and this is how the evolution process occurs.
Yep.
And later on, we might get to that point, but actually what happens is that it starts ideally from top down. It is a top-down approach.
Okay.
It trickles down. Means the people who are heading different institutions, they're heading the states, the people, heading the different families, everybody has got a circle of influence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether
yeah,
you are
yeah.
leading a family, a social circle, an organization, you are head of the state.
Everybody wants to have authority in their hands.
Yes, authority in their hand. But those people who have got the authority, those who are visible to everybody, head of state is visible to everybody, head of institution is visible to everybody, and the people, they are copying them.
Yeah.
They are inspired by those people.
Right.
So what happens is, when they are not exhibiting those behaviors,
Yep.
when they are intolerant, just take an example of our political institution, for example, because we do not have that much of the business leaders and the social leaders. We
Yeah.
have few religious leaders and few institutional leaders, and then primarily we have the political leadership.
Yeah.
So if you just look at their behaviors,
Intolerant.
intolerant means in talk shows they're abusing each other,
Yeah.
means they're maligning each other, they're proving that their political party and they by themselves they are the right and the rest everybody is wrong.
Exactly.
I really love what you said because the words that you chose, they very much sound like Socrates, or rather Plato because he wrote it. But here's the thing. So yes, we agree that a lot of people are intolerant, especially when the people who are in power. I think humans are not ready to attain that power, first of all, and then to exercise it in a fair way, right? So how can we make sure that that happens?
And before you answer this, I think I'm going to give a very deeper understanding of how our society or our community is working, because
Yeah.
I'm in connection with a lot of people at the grassroots level, because the kind of work I do, usually other than concerts, I'm into cars, I'm into a lot of things. So now imagine that these are the menaces which exist within our community. First of all, nobody wants to share the truth. Okay, this is one thing, you're going to go buy anything, you'll be like, okay, sir, this is the best piece and whatnot, the best price, and they're going to give you that pitch, which is against the values of Islam. Our society is not based on the values of Islam in the first place. Number two, commission, sir, kuch khayal to karenge. All of these things are labeled as the names which I have actually shared with people, but is bribe underhand anyways, and gifts and perfumes and ties and everything which are given to people who are actually on those seats, I think is bribery once again. God forbid, I think even the God doesn't want me to say these things.
Should I take over?
Go ahead.
All right. So yes, and I agree with Shazad. This is sort of a part of our society and an accepted thing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if Shazad and I, or if anyone would stand up and point something out like this, so the 10 people who are doing that will turn against us and be like, why can't you stay quiet? This is the system, man. Deal with the system. Just go
Yeah.
with the flow. Now, these are the things that need a change at the grassroots level. This is
Yeah.
not an upside-down approach or top-to-bottom approach, sorry. So how to go
And
about
it's normal
that?
now.
Yeah.
There is a word we call character.
Yes.
It could be your character, it's an individual character,
Yeah.
can be an organizational character, and character as a nation.
Yeah.
So character is made up of what? Character is made up of your integrity, your honesty, your truthfulness. So all these ingredients, and if we just look at our nation,
Yes.
unfortunately we do not have that sound character. We lack that character, we lack that credibility, we lack integrity. So actually and in order to have that much of character, you have to build the character. It is something you have to build your character. Let's take an example of any student. If he's not having an ideal or closer to an ideal environment, if there is means everybody is lying at home and he's in a class, an institution where the people they do not have that much of character. So with the passage of time, the beliefs developed in that person would be
Very
that
different.
he would say that khanda hai te landa bhi hai.
Yeah,
So that would be an
Okay.
acceptable statement for
So the
them.
society
so that
normalizes
leads,
such
that is
things.
because of lack of character.
So today what we're doing is that we're moral policing, right?
Okay.
Kind of.
That's what we're doing, and we need to give them some concrete things that people will actually be able to think that, okay, you know, this is something which is happening and this is for real as well. Because now I think that it's very common and everybody is starting to take it this way as well. But ladies and gentlemen, one way or the other, this is something which is heartfelt, and I'm going to share it with everybody else as well.
Alright.
When it comes down to risk, when it comes down to the kind of money you generate for your household or for your kitchen to run, ladies and gentlemen, it's risk. It's going to find you wherever you're going to be. You really do not have to be, you really do not have to have a loose character to get some money or to get some extra bucks, you know, to enjoy a luxurious lifestyle. Allah has promised you for that. All you need to have is faith. That's it. And I think that our society these days, God forbid, is missing out on that.
You're
know,
very
Shazad-
right.
Yeah,
He's
please,
very
please.
right. So the money you have, you are going to get that amount. Now what you have in your hand is the way to get that.
Exactly.
You are using the positive, the right, the legal way to get that money, or you are not using, you know, all the negative means to get that money.
Yeah.
So that is
Right.
purely your choice. So we actually, because we do not, believe in that thing.
Yeah.
So we right now we do not have that much belief in Allah that we are going to get that amount.
Okay.
So this is the thing actually we need to learn, that this is the amount of money we are going to get.
Right, and I
So
agree
for
with
that matter we need to be positive.
Absolutely. We need to talk about positivity too. But Shazad, where you said, of course, risk is something that has been decided, so go about it in a perfect manner or a better manner, where you're not, sort of just slaughtering your character for it. So I don't exactly remember the name of the book, but I think a lot of people have read it, 7 Habits of highly effective people.
Highly effective.
Highly effective people.
By Stephen Covey.
Yeah, yes. So one of them said that the theory of abundance. If you
Yeah.
believe in the theory of abundance, everything is going to be so normal. And it stated that there is enough for everyone out there. If you just believe in this fact, that the Creator has put everything out there for every single person that He produced in this world, everything is going to be fine. I mean, you don't have to be greedy or just snatch the opportunity or, be unkind to someone to actually get something that is not yours. Theory of abundance is something that will change your personality to a total 180 degrees. And well, I'm for it. Absolutely. I tried it and I think
Exactly, and it
my
works.
mentality
Yes,
got better.
yes, and theory of abundance is that God has given 24 hours to everybody.
Yes, exactly.
Nobody can claim that I have 23 hours.
Yeah.
Oxygen is for everybody. So God has given everything in abundance.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
all it's now the resources are for everybody.
Yeah.
And within the same resources, the few people, they are the champions.
Yeah.
They are successful. And within the same resources, the few people, they remain average throughout their life. So that is purely our choice.
Exactly.
So how we use that resources. And here, let me tell you a very interesting story of Einstein. A person came to Einstein and he was sort of, as you said, that we are in a judgmental society. So he said that today I'm going to judge that how genius Einstein is.
Okay.
So he requested Einstein to ask me a question. He said, okay, fine. He said, tell me that when that Anglo-Turkish war was fought. He said, I don't know. Okay, he said, fine. He said, tell me that what is the name of the capital of that country? Einstein said, sorry, I don't know.
Okay.
He said that, what is the name of the most famous leader of that nation?
Yeah.
Einstein again said, I don't know. He said, people call you genius, but I ask you these simple general knowledge questions. You do not have the answer of these questions. What kind of genius you are?
Right.
He said, a wonderful answer. He said that I am a genius not because the fact that I use my brain for storing these minor information. I think that my brain is to do something amazing, to do some massive task. I research, I think on my job, and I innovate the way. I develop different theories. So that's why I'm genius. And the resource we have, we are blessed with. The point is that we are blessed with this amazing resource. We have got billions of neurons in the brain, and every neuron is an independent computer. So it is better than all the machines in the world. And the beauty of this machine is that all the neurons, they are interconnected with each other. And if you think on a positive and any project, so they are well connected and all they are producing the same outcome.
Yes.
They're working in collaboration and coordination with each other. So all we have to do is to use our brain in a positive way by thinking positively.
That's true, and I'm going to add on to this as well, because this is a wonderful message, and I think it's still relevant, and that is that, ladies and gentlemen, we actually occupy our brain with, okay, what is he doing? What is she doing? How much are they getting paid? Okay, khala ke ghar ye aa gaya. You know, things like that. I think that these are the things which no one should think, because whatever somebody gets, you know, let it be. You know, it's theirs. It's not even yours. And there's always a difference in between appreciating and then being envious of somebody as well.
Right.
So you really need to be careful about that, and make you always, I think it is important to have your own journey, because at a certain age, ladies and gentlemen, believe me, whatever my age is now, I don't think that I'm actually going to share it now. Okay, I'm 33 years old.
Mashallah.
But even at this age, alhamdulillah, now there are a few things which does not excite me at all. You know, when I was 18 years old, when I was 22 years old, there were these things which used to excite me a lot. But now I just don't care about those things, and it is because of the fact that I've evolved over time, that okay, this is what is going to have an impact on my life, and this is something which is just secondary, and you know, it is of use, but it is not going to give me what I want for myself, where I see myself. So you know, one needs to always have this focus in life.
Shazad, also, sorry,
yes.
I want to share another very relevant story.
Yeah, go ahead.
Another wonderful attribute of a healthy nation and a healthy society is forgiveness. They forgive each other.
Exactly.
But you know, it's not that easy for everyone.
It's not that easy. But the difference is the great people, they forgive. They don't get into these minor issues you were talking about, khala and chachi and cousins, what they are doing. Forget about them. Yes, if you can assist them positively, do that.
Wow.
But you know, mind your own business. Think about your own job. And another, if you have time, a wonderful story of Nelson Mandela, when he became the president of South Africa. So one day he was out there with his team, and suddenly he stopped, very closer to a small restaurant. That restaurant was nowhere, as per the standard of, such a mighty leader. But as his order, so the team make all the arrangement, they sat down over there and they ordered the meal. So there was another person sitting on the next table. Nelson Mandela asked the security person to request that person to join me on that table.
Yeah.
The person came, he looked very nervous. His hand was shivering, he was sweaty, and very confused he was. He had got so much of fear. So he took that meal, and after some time he left. But the security person did not understand what happened actually. He asked, what was that person and why did you stop over here? He said that the person who was sitting over there, he's a policeman. And he is he's doing job in a jail where I spent most of my time as a prisoner. He spent 27 years in the prison, and most of the time where I spent, he was the policeman over there. And his job was to make sure the meals, to provide the meals to the prisoners. And whenever I asked for a water, he used to present me the urine. Because he hate black people.
Yeah, of course,
black people.
African apartheid.
So today, when he saw me, and when I stopped over here, he was expecting me, because today I'm the president, and he was expecting me that I can do anything. I could punish him anywhere. So, but I forgive him, and that is the difference. He's a policeman sitting over there, and today I'm the president.
Wonderful.
So the people who forgive others, they are the great people. They have got a great heart and great mind.
That's true.
It's a very difficult thing. But this is, if you have got the awareness, gradually you can learn, and you can get to. And the more you forgive people.
There's one more crucial point over here,
Yes.
and that is that, ladies and gentlemen, forgiveness is actually for people who actually know how to probably take the grudge out as well, or have the authority or have the power. For somebody who actually cannot even look after him or herself, how do you think that they will actually be challenging somebody else as well? So forgiveness for people who have that authority to probably make sure that, okay, you did this to me and I can set you right, and then you forgive, is forgiveness as well. For all of those people who really cannot even look after themselves, it's in between Allah, them, and the other person as well, because it
No,
just
Shazad,
goes
there
straight
is
to the other.
one more point to that. Means if I am, I do not have authority, and you have done something wrong with me, I cannot actually challenge you. But even then, it is important for me
To forgive,
to forgive.
Exactly.
Why? Because if I'm not going to forgive you, my mind would be full of the negative thoughts, and all the time I'll be burning with the desire to take the revenge.
Exactly.
So
Right.
forgiving other means that you are just freeing yourself from all those negative thoughts. So you can put your time, you can put your energy and resources in a positive thing.
But Mr. Asif, you know what? Now I'm going to take you back to the Nelson Mandela story as well. It was brilliant, of course, so much to learn from it. But I think when we talk about the VIP culture depicted over here in this story, We are that society, aren't we? I mean, even our premier and his entire political party is working to eradicate the VIP culture,
Yeah.
and we are a part of it. As a nation, Pakistanis, sorry to say this, we do have Marxist tendencies. We do. We, classify people. We think in our own minds that XYZ might be a VIP. That's the way we're going to treat him, and then, we mistreat
That's
some
how
as
it
well.
goes, man. That's how it
That's
goes. Yeah.
which is not fair. So if we need to bring a change on such a large level, an entire country, not even a small society, how should we go about it? Or is there any way forward actually?
An
Yes.
iota
And I
of
think
change.
we should begin with ourselves, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, if we
this is
take
the
a
point.
pledge.
This is the point. If we expect Imran Khan and if we expect other political parties to change first, actually, they're the things we cannot control. They are the factors which we cannot control. We cannot control the economy. We cannot control these political parties. We cannot control the oil prices in the world. What is going? So there are factors which we can control,
Yes.
and we can control ourselves. And the first person to change the world is change yourself.
yes.
So how we can actually, how we can contribute in the development of positive society means in my circle of influence, at my home, I can create a culture of which you have shown the two pictures, equity and equality.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Still, I'm from a remote area. 70% population is there living in remote areas in peripheries. They're still, a boy and a girl, they're, being treated in different way.
Yeah, absolutely,
Up to
man.
a single meal.
Yes.
Desi ghee for a boy and dalda for a girl.
Yeah, I get it. Yes, I've seen it.
So when you have this kind of inequality, it leads to intolerance.
Exactly.
It does.
And in the long run, that creates so much of the problems. So being the head of the family, I have to give respect to all the family members. Being the head of the family does not mean that I shouldn't listen to everybody.
Exactly.
There should be freedom of expression. I should listen to my kids. I should listen to my partner. And everybody should be, the part of the decision making. Equal treatment to everybody.
Exactly.
So that's how, my home will be growing, and there would be a
Right.
tolerant culture. Similarly at my workplace, similarly in my social circle. So if a single person decides to change his or herself, we can contribute a lot.
It
And
creates
that's
a
the
ripple
way forward.
effect. It does create a ripple effect. That's
Yes.
brilliant. And it's true. You have to start the change first of all at your own expense and then at your home as well. So let me take your example forward of where a boy child and a girl child are treated unequally or like just in terms of food, even they're not served equal food. So if you change that habit, first of all, you are, yes, sort of, supporting and encouraging the female to let her know that you're equal as your male counterpart. But again, you are shaping the, guy's mind for him to know that they should be treated equally. And when he grows up, inshallah, and when he has girls at his place, he knows how to treat them. Exactly. So this is how ripple effect is created, and it has to begin at your own expense. So together, I think today is Friday, so let's take this opportunity to make the day even better and pledge that individually we are going to change and create an, as I said, a ripple effect in the society. We need to have a better and a more coherent society
And
where
be
we function.
healthier members of healthy society as well,
absolutely.
ladies and gentlemen. So thank you very much, Asif Sir, for being with us. Always wonderful to be in conversation.
Thank you very much for calling me.
The words you utter are always useful.
So meaningful.
For everybody who's out there as well. And this is what we feel ourselves as well. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, obviously this is something for which we really need to be mentally healthy. But I think the next segment is actually going to be all about how we can keep ourselves healthy as well. So because if you want to have a healthy society, you need to make sure that you are one healthy individual. Let's go for a short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Good morning.
Stay tuned. Welcome back to Well This Morning, ladies and gentlemen, with Shazad Khan and Shiza Hashmi, where today we are so keen to educate everyone on how to have not only a healthy mind, but a healthy body as well.
Yeah.
But before we begin, you know, I always regret, why do we forget to put our transformation pictures so we could share with everyone? But here's the thing, Shazad, over the few years, of course, when you did realize that you need to work on yourself, you realize that it's not only your mental health, it's your physical health as well.
Exactly.
Thus, you are now, mashallah, in a very good shape. So my question to you, do you feel better? And this is not only in terms of physical appearance. I mean, just knowing that you improved your own self. And number two, is there a diet that you do? I'm learning, man.
I'm going to share that with you too as well. But Shiza, you know, when I got my backbone surgery done, so after that, you know, obviously to recover and to recuperate, and then, you know, the journey was on. And, you know, when I actually got to my finest stage where I was able to actually walk, I used to weigh 106 kgs. And that was the time when I couldn't even take a selfie of my own self, and I used to
Was
feel...
that when I joined the show?
Yeah, it was literally then that I was very fat, and I was like, okay, you know what, you know, I just don't feel great about myself, and I need to bring about a change. And I couldn't work out because, you know, the doctor stopped me from doing so. But then eventually it was on me. I had to decide, because the doctor said if you're going to go back and if you're going to exercise, you know, you might not even walk again as well. So I was like, you know, I will take that, God forbid, if that happens, God forbid, but I need to change myself. I need to be confident. And every now and then, you know, even you might feel it as well, you know, when we wear jeans and shirts, we have more energy. When we wear suits, you know, we are more settled. You know, with shalwar kameez, we have a very different kind of perspective as well. So clothes definitely, and then you yourself, you know, the way you feel, how fit you are. I think everything plays an important role for you to be healthy as well. And I think everybody needs to focus on that. And what I believe is, I don't believe in dieting. I believe in eating, and I believe in working out and burning it as well. So I do not believe in going to the gym for just 45 minutes, you know, just burning 150 or 200 calories and coming back. So whatever your calorie intake is, make sure that at least half of it you burn it, you know. So even if I have to work out for like 2 long hours, I will do that. I'll make sure that I burn 900, 800 calories at least, 30 minutes cardio. And then after I'm done with my workout, I will eat whatever I want to eat. May it be a paratha, may it be a kheer, may it be a pizza.
Okay, so this is actually good to hear, because you're not
It's good
starving
life.
yourself to death.
Yeah.
But for all of those people who might actually take our conversation to a negative side, here's the thing. Physical appearance does make you feel good or bad. It gives you courage. It gives you a lot of confidence. It does. There's no denying that. So we are not implying that you need to lose weight or put on weight. We are just implying that you should actually work towards getting that goal, physical appearance, which is in your mind. It can be anything that you want. And to help you with that, we have an expert over here in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. She happens to be a nutritionist. She's been here on the show before. She is brilliant at what she does. She's none other than Dr. Javeria Mahmood. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back.
And thank you so much for having me here.
It's our
Thank you very
pleasure
much for
to be
joining us. It's wonderful to have you, ladies and gentlemen. She came all the way from Lahore to actually be over here as well. So Dr. Javeria, now what we want to do today is that we want a very generic perspective of what is being healthy, what is eating healthy, or how do you think people can actually judge whether they are healthy or not?
Actually, you know, everyone has a different, you know, aura, even the nutritional goals, the nutritional interventions, and the first 20 years nutrition based on the next 20 years nutrition. Even you can't sort out the things, you know, calcium deficiency, protein, calorie malnutrition, and many other things. We can't sort out the things over the night.
Exactly.
Yes,
First of all, when the baby is an infant, it's on the mother feed. Laterly, you know, the first 10 years nutrition based on the next 10 years of nutrition. If it's poor, the next 10 years you can't recover it over the period. So, you know, food is like a fuel. Food is for socializing. Food is a source of happiness, but eat intelligently is an art. And you know, at this aura in 2020, we have so much, you know, varieties, options to eat, to drink. There is a fibers in diet. There is a, you know, a lot of things in our diet and things. But choice is all yours. Whether your selection is the junk food, or whether you are selecting the green leafy vegetables or fruits and grains. But as I know, many people believe on balanced diet but didn't implement balanced diet in the real life, and this is the big difference. You know, no physical activity, no balanced diet, smoking, alcoholic abuse. These things are whenever in the abnormality in your life, you spoiled yourself, your body. As you know, our body is a temple, not a trash can. You know, we are eating like this. This is whatever we got, we eat it. But many of the people who are, you can say, brainy and very faithful with their self, they never, you know, injustice with their bodies, you can say.
Right. So, Javeria, whatever you said is absolutely right. So, let's take on it one by one, okay? So, where you said that the first 20 years of your nutrition are actually going to determine the next 20 years.
Yeah.
So, we live in an era with the first 20 years. Now, we're talking about kids and then teenagers.
Yeah.
We cannot control what they eat. They love pizzas, they love fast food, and they love everything that's not healthy.
Even they are not in control of the parents, you know.
Yeah, you can't school them because, of course, they are in this that rebellious
and not
stage.
too much alcoholic abuse, you know, in schools too.
Drugs
because
and
you know, there is anti-narcotics. I'm also as a youth ambassador working there, and I delivered many lectures and at different community centers, and I have found this thing that it started from the lunch boxes where the mother make the commercialized foods for the person.
That's what I was going to ask.
example,
You know, this packaged packed milk, you can say milks and juices, they are all packed colorant drinks. They are not fresh, they are not healthy, and they can you can affect our cognitive development, you know, brain development. It slows your brain, it slows your physical activity. So, you know, most of our future, our our people are our students, and their nutritional goals are not too much good.
I think that nobody is actually emphasizing on nutritional goals, ladies and gentlemen. There was a time, for example, if I'm going to go back in time when I'm going to speak about my grandfather, grandmother, I think they had nutritional goals. Okay, you know, so within a week's time, there'll be 2 days where everybody's going to have mutton. There'll be days when somebody's going to have desi ghee as well. In fact, research says that desi ghee is healthy now.
Yeah,
definitely. You know, the research was
not
otherwise.
Not for the throat.
But yeah, the research was otherwise back then as well. Not just that, and then, you know, they're going to make sure that the grandfather is going to bring in fruits, you know, and he's going to distribute to everybody. So, you know, they had that concept. Even now, when you go to villages, they have this concept of nutrition. But now, what bothers me is that I've seen a lot of mothers. You're very right that they will pack nuggets for them, you know. Nuggets, I hate them. I'm sorry, but, you know, I just don't like them at all, you know. Sausages, or this kind of stuff, ladies and gentlemen, you can have every now and then just for the taste.
You raise your children like commercially, they are the commercially raised up of the children.
Yeah, I will complete, and I will come back to you as well. You know, what I wanted to say over here is that, you know, then, not just that, you know, we are actually giving our children, unfortunately, which I do not want to call food at all because it smells at times very bad as well. So imagine if it smells bad, what kind of nutrition there will be, number one. Number two, now the mothers are like, okay, you know, whatever you put in your plate, you have to finish it. I think that's one thing which has disturbed everybody, every kid as well. God forbid, you know, kids, you know, they're young, you know, when they fill up their plates, they might feel hungry, but halfway down they're like, okay, you know what, we cannot eat more. And then their mothers push them to eat. So overeating becomes a habit over a period of time. So the first 20 years, somebody who's been overeating, what do you think they're going to do the next 20 years? They're going to overeat. Absolutely. So what is your message for mothers? I've even seen mothers, I'm sorry that I'm going to actually name that brand as well. I think it's Pediasure.
No, you don't need to, you know, you don't need to mention the brand name.
It's some kind of supplement for babies.
Yeah.
Are you listening?
Yeah.
It's a supplement for babies as well, where, you know, the baby just outgrows, you know, and the baby is healthier as well, and the mothers are doing it every single day with those babies. How do you think they will grow up? You know, don't you think that they will be?
You know, I believe in one thing, that children grow up with the love, care, affection, and the most importantly, when the mother cook food by their hand, you know, special affection in that. But most importantly, there are some points we should follow, and we should tell the nation too. That's very good, healthy food points. Number one, control your portion size. I mean to say that many of the times, if you guys even see at your homes, whenever the leftovers always finished by the mothers, number one. Secondly, timings never be okay with the, you know, children, mother, parents, and everyone. I mean to say that जैसे कहते खाना बर वक्त खाएं. So it's too important, you know, your breakfast, lunch, dinner should be on time, and literally eliminate all animal fat from your diet.
Really?
Commercialized, rancid oil fats, because you need to change. Even if you are cooking if you are deep frying something at your home, you need to change after 72 hours or after 2-3 boils, because it can become rancid and it can become carcinogenic. That becomes the cancerous cells in our body, and after that, we are the people like this, where the cancer comes, where these problems comes, where the reports are not okay.
Okay,
so
Javeria,
it's like that.
so since we're really short on time, this is the last question, and let's make it more realistic so that everyone can relate to it. So since schools are now open, so if Dr. Javeria's child was to go back to school, in the morning, what is Dr. Javeria putting in the lunchbox?
First of all, we need to make a balanced meal. You should add any fruit, apple or guava or any available fruit, not the compulsion of any fruit. But you can you can give him a bunch of bananas to the person. You can give him if it's possible, you can make the healthy lunchbox like paratha achar, paratha anda, toast, breads, fries, totally home cooked. This is totally fine. And don't forget to add little bit vegetable, because here in Pakistan we never developed the thing of eating vegetables in the diet. So most
and kids hate vegetables
because mothers never develop this habit from the early childhood. Even if they try to give their vegetable nuggets, vegetables in different forms, they never get any disease after 20 years, because polycystic ovarian syndrome and many other diseases right now causes due to the whenever children eliminate peas, carrots from out of the diet and always on the junk food. So it creates the biggest problem, in the young age and in the, you can say,
exactly. That's very true, and I think that over here it is the mother's job to actually make sure that the food looks interesting to the kids as well, ladies and gentlemen, because they don't know how it might taste. And for a lot of people, it is the first time that they're actually tasting the dish. But if you're going to cook it every day, where it's just dipped in the oil and that's how it looks and it does not taste good, I think it's not the kid's fault that he's actually not trying to eat the carrot or the peas, and they're taking all of these things one by one out. I think it's the mother's job to make sure that they try to be creative within the kitchen as well. Because ladies and gentlemen, whatever you're going to cook can taste any, it can probably have so many different tastes. You go all over the world, you eat Thai food, the way they cook vegetables is so different. You even drink the curry. You're like, okay, whatever is left, I'm going to drink it. That's how yummy it is. So with different cuisines, it is different. I think the mothers just need to be creative in the kitchen, and the kids are going to eat whatever their parents are eating anyways. They might not have a problem. I never had a problem with eating anything.
Same here.
I do not have preferences. I'm like, okay, this needs to be cooked, this needs to be cooked, even if it's a vegetable, whatever it is. And it is because of the fact that everybody in my house were actually very creative in the kitchen. They'll find different ways of cooking some nutritional food.
That's brilliant, right? So this is how your, I want to say, habits developed of eating healthy. That's brilliant. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being with us, Dr. Javeria, and sharing your easy tips with us that we can actually incorporate in our daily life as well. Ladies and gentlemen, stay healthy. I know it sounds very generic, but it is going to help you in whatever age you are right now. Just, adopt the healthy lifestyle right now. It might actually change whatever you're going through as well. Very quickly though, Shahzad, when you talk about making interesting foods or presenting something pretty in front on the table for someone to eat, it actually works. So there are so many websites, so there are so many actually YouTube pages you can learn from. I have sort of tried and tested this. Does not matter what it tastes like. If it looks good, people will eat it.
And I still remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is one thing which actually just got to my head, and that is that every now and then, when I'll go back from school, mom has actually cooked, this dish which actually looked exactly like potatoes.
What is it? Shaljam?
I think so.
Dude, it's
and every time I'm going to ask my mother, I'm like, have you cooked potatoes? And mom's like, yeah, it's potato.
Same here.
So all of a sudden, what would happen was that I'll pour some curry in my plate, and then in the first bite, I'm like, it's not potato.
It's not
and then my mom would be like, since it's in your plate now, you have to finish it. Sorry.
And we started calling it dhoka sabzi.
Exactly.
Because it actually looked like potatoes. But here's the thing, these things are, really full of all the nutrients that your body requires. Allah created them. He knows what your body requires. So just will stick to the good stuff.
Exactly. And while you stick to it, ladies and gentlemen, there's one more simple thing which I would love to recommend. The rest is your choice, because we want everybody to be healthy. If every individual is going to be healthy, our society is going to be healthy as well. And that one last thing is that every now and then when I see people running, going to gym, swimming or everything, they're like, okay, you know what, we're going to do it for 2 months and then attain the goal we have in our head and that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, exercising is something which is very useful for your body, for your mind, for your well-being as well, and it is a lifestyle. Please make sure once you adapt to it that you never go back from it, because the results will be so immaculate that you will feel superb. You will feel like you are a superhuman. Give it some time. You deserve the best time of yourself as well. And you will get rid of all the stresses. You will not think about anything when you actually have to run 6 kilometers probably in 5-6 minutes, which is tough, you know, so you'll be pushing yourself. Push yourself to be the best version of yourself.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much for saying that, Shazad, and ending the week on this note, actually. We actually love to bring, you know, some positive vibes to you early in the morning because we know this is the first thing you watch when you wake up.
Yep.
So if you do learn anything from us, we'd love to hear from you. Write to us on our Facebook page with the name of...
Well, this morning it'll be on your television screens. Yes, it's here down below.
On Twitter?
On Twitter, it's Wall This Morning, yeah, as you can see.
And on YouTube?
On YouTube, it is PTB Wall, and then you look for the most viewed morning show, ladies and gentlemen, which alhamdulillah happens to be Wall This Morning.
Yeah, absolutely. And the repeat of this show you can catch at
5 past midnight, ladies and gentlemen. Till the next time, look after yourselves. It's Friday. Even if it's not Friday, any other day, ladies and gentlemen, you have to pray for me, Shiza, and our entire team, our producers, our researcher, our team members, our cameramen, our people in the MCR, our bosses, everybody. Remember, everybody in your prayers. Stay good, stay blessed. Happy life, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.